What's going on, people? It's your boy, Brother Winston. I want to make this video specifically for black women, okay? It does apply to women that are not black, all right? And it could even be advice to men, but it's really for black women, okay? And that is this, all right? A lot of you have been taught by society that when men approach you, most men that approach you are players. If a man approaches you that you don't know, that guy probably has a ton of women on the side, all right? Or that if a man approaches you, no matter where he is, you have to put him through a series of like degrading questions, all right? And he has to meet a certain standard. Now, of course, people do have to meet standards. I'm not saying they shouldn't have had any standards at all, okay? If that's the case, you can know what is any kind of fool, okay? But at the same time, a lot of things that you guys have been taught, especially about women, especially women that are online, not all women online are giving bad advice, I'm not saying it, but there are a lot of women online that are giving women bad advice about how to talk to men, when you should be listening to a man, not a woman, telling you how to talk to a man, okay? Because men would know best about how we think, you understand what I'm saying? One of the things that a lot of black women do is you'll see a man approach you, and you'll immediately assume, and I've seen this myself many, many times, all right? You'll assume automatically, okay, well, he has an ulterior motive, he's a player. Why assume that, okay? And the reason why this is because a lot of black women have been taught, know how you want your man to come, and he's gonna come like that. That's not reality, all right? I don't want to meet a man at the supermarket. I don't want to meet a man here or there. I have to meet him at my job. You be working at that job till your dying day, the guy will never show up. Or I have to meet him at church. You be going to church till your dying day, God will not send that man to your church. God never said that he was going to send a man this way or that way. He will bless you this way or that way, okay? We have to be willing to receive things no matter how they come. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of women don't understand this. And I understand because some women, well, all women, you know, at the end of the day, they're not really hunters like men are. Okay, though some women do approach men, which always is a plus. Okay, it can always rise your chances of meeting a man, you know, and accelerate that process. But I'm not saying that you have to do that. But understand that, you know, there are men of all walks of life. There are rich men. There are men that they're middle class. There are men that don't have a lot of money. There are men that are nice guys, bad guys. All of us at the end of the day, when it comes to getting a woman, we have to approach women at some point or another that we don't know. There are some men that, you know, you may meet somebody in your school or at your job or wherever. There are men, probably like 10% of men, that meet women like that. But the vast majority of men don't meet women that way. Okay, and even those men that usually have got no situations, most of those guys still had to talk to all the other women before that who did not know. Okay, so when we're approaching women, you don't have any clue at all about who we are. All right, so we're coming to you usually with a compliment, starts a conversation. Some guys will take a long time with a conversation and beat around the bush until they say, "Look, I want to talk to you." Okay, me, I'm not that kind of person. I'll let the person know immediately, you know, what the deal is. I'm not going to have you thinking that I'm just trying to be a friend when I'm not trying to be a friend and waste your time. Okay, but some guys will do that because they're like, "Oh, well, I don't want to say that I asked her out," whatever it is to be. Okay, but at the end of the day, you know, there are a variety of types of guys out there. Okay, so for you to say, "Oh, well, all men are just players trying to talk to me," if you do that, you're giving yourself about a 1% chance. Okay, you're cutting down the type of men that you can find to like 1%. Okay, you're really cutting down who you could actually find. All right, and you could die alone. All right, simply because you have, and this is what I'm saying. This is really important. Simply because you have in your mind a vision of something that's supposed to happen that is nothing more than a fantasy. Really, it's nothing more than a fantasy. Oh, my dream of having this way. My mom met her husband this way. That's great that she met her husband that way. Okay, and this may seem harsh, but it's just the truth. That doesn't mean that's going to happen to you that way. That doesn't mean that you're promised all my friends met their husbands that way. That doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. Well, I'm going to go to this wedding so I can meet my husband at this wedding or at this funeral. It doesn't mean that you're going to meet him anywhere. All right, but it also doesn't mean that God is being mean to you because you didn't meet him that way. Okay, you have to be open to finding love or whatever blessing that God wants to send you in any kind of way. Okay, but because a lot of you guys are so and this not apply to all black women, but just some of them. Okay, too many of them, no, I should say, because you're so stubborn in your mind that it has to happen this way. You're always missing opportunities. You're always missing the right men. All right, and then what happens, and I see this every single day, women like this, you end up getting stuck with a guy who's completely wrong for you. All right, and the reason is because a lot of black women cannot tell what a good man looks like. Okay, too many of you cannot. You don't know what a good black man looks like. You want a man, all right, who's a manly man. You want a man who get things done. All right, but instead, what society pushes is not a strong black man, but a feminine black man. A black man that's always concerned about his hair. You'll go with a black man who looks more fly than you, who's more concerned about his clothes than you are. All right, that's what society pushes. And you think that's good. Then you're surprised when a guy ends up being homosexual because you can't tell. But when the right guy comes to you, who's a manly man, you say, oh, he's a nobody. I want the guy who, I'm just giving you guys advice here. If a guy is concerned about his hair more than you are, okay? If a guy has shaped up, has lined up eyebrows, okay? If a guy, is into designer fashion just to a ridiculous degree. All right, most men, especially mainly men, we don't care about designer names and fashion on all our stuff. But there are men like that. A lot of times those guys are undercover. Okay, I'm telling you facts here. All right. In society, that's why, listen, ladies, you can't search for a guy based on what society says is a good man or is a good guy. That guy would never, be the right guy for you. All right. Well, you may say, well, what's the answer? Well, the answer is this: when any man approaches you, all right, let the guy talk. All right, y'all always hear men love to talk. Men love to talk. All right, well, let the guy talk. Listen to what the guy is saying. But if you just push the guy off, you may see a guy. He may look like he's a straight player. He may have all the looks. He may have all kind of stuff, and he may be the most nice guy, all right, and the most kind guy. But because so many women look at him like, oh, he's a player, they just push him off. All right, and then what happens is that he literally can't find the right person. All right, and when he meets you, you're the person that sits there and listens to the guy. Okay, the guy may have a story that his story may seem almost fake, and it's really true. He may say, "This is what happened to me. This is why I don't have women." Blah 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 blah. He may say, "My wife died," whatever. He may be telling you the truth, but because so many women just are especially black women, you're on the defense immediately. You're taught to just be on the defense, all right, and act like a man, all right. When the man approaches you, now you push that guy off. And you end up with the guy, like I'm talking about, who's the feminine guy, who you're going to turn around one day and find out that he's with another guy. All right. I know that women, you don't have the picker ability as men have. All right. Because you yourself don't enter into the, hunting sport as men do of finding a spouse. Men do this all the time. So we have much more experience in these type of things. So we understand that women, are not going to be as good as we are. But the best advice we give you, trust me, is this. And any man will tell you this. Sit and listen. Sit and listen. The guy tries to pressure you to do something or to sleep with you, that's a sign. He ain't for me. But if a guy's just sitting there spitting game or telling you whatever, okay, some things take more time to develop than others. Some men, they can tell you everything they're doing, everything they are within a matter of 2 seconds. Some men, they're slow. Okay, some men are slow. Doesn't mean that they're not effective. There are many slow multi-millionaires and billionaires out here, okay? And you will never know that. Some men are very, very flashy. In my opinion, I would tell you to avoid people like that, okay? People that are always flashy usually don't have anything. But some women like that kind of man, okay? But that's my best advice, seriously, yo. And if you do this, I think that you will find the right person, amen? Listen to the person. Be patient. Don't think that you're somebody that you're not. Well, I'm worth all this money in the world. You can worth all the money in the world and die out all of that, okay? Alone. All right, and prayerfully it doesn't happen to you. All right, guys, thanks for watching. It's your boy, Brother Winston. Check me out here on our platform you're watching me on: YouTube, Brother Winston; TikTok, Brother Winston; Twitter, Brother Winston, same name. I'm out. Peace.